Welcome to this episode of After Yoga with Super Dave. Today we're going to cover the transitions within our trio sequence flow. The other day we covered the 7 trio poses that we did within the sequence. Transitions are going to be obviously a little bit harder because now you're kind of moving around with obviously 2 flyers. So really take your time going through these transitions. I'm going to do the whole sequence and talk you guys through it. You guys can practice this transition from one pose to another. You don't have to do all of them. Okay? So for my flyers, I have Sandra and Alice. We're going to start off in our double shoulder stand. So Alice is coming in. Sandra comes afterwards. Okay? And then from here, I'm going to tell Sandra to lower her feet onto my feet. Her toes are pointing out, so the arch of her foot is right on the top of my foot. And then Alice starts to come down. Her arch of feet land onto my knees. So I really push her back first. She grabs onto my wrist and lifts herself up. So she requires a little bit of strength to lift herself up. I grab a hold of her wrist. Then she really presses down with her heels here, bending her knees, so I can start to lift up. Then we all start to strain. Alice strains her leg and Sandra strains her arms. Good. From here, Sandra now will start to lower towards the ground. So Alice will bend her knees a little bit to help that transition. Sandra keeps a hold of Alice's hip until she feels that we're balanced. And then Alice sits into straddle throw. Okay? Now she starts to go back in her waterfall. And I'm just going to show you another transition into our trio shoulder stand. So I'm going to try to press up. I'm going to take my hands just above Sandra's feet. Elbows close in, start to lift, and then drop my shoulders. Coming all the way back down. We're going to move into our 2-tier counterbalance. So from here, I'm going to rock down and bring them up into standing. I'm going to rock down, I'll stand, and Sandra starts to stand. This one's a little tricky here. It's a double straddle throw. I'm going to take my hands and feet in position for straddle throw. Sandra has her hands onto Alice's shoulders, and Alice can put her hands onto Sandra's hands for some support. As they jump up, I want them to jump forward. So I'm going to count down. 1, 2, 3, and then they'll hook their legs and find balance. Moving into our chariot pose, Alice reaches her hands back. And then I'm going to unhook one leg, take my hands under her knees. She's going to shift weight into this side. Places the other foot, and then she straightens up. So this transition here is where I start to rock, so I can change their view. So I'm going to take my elbows on the ground. I can use my hands to push against the ground so we can begin to rotate. So my upper back stays off the ground. I'm just kind of rotating on my lower back. Okay, coming into double hammered, Alice will bend her knees. I slide onto her hips, she takes her legs back. And then Sandra's going to unhook her feet. Take her hands onto Alice's shoulders. They keep clamping my legs until they find balance. And then I'll release my legs. Coming down. That one's always a tricky one, so there's not much room for error there, because there's obviously a lot of weight to shift forward and back. So hopefully you found that tutorial on the transitions useful. Comment below if you have any other further questions.